Now imagine if you're in a situation where you have to use a board-like object, for example a chopping board or a paddle, as a defensive weapon, and how would you use it to defend yourself and attack your opponent? And remember these board-like objects are blunt impact weapons, which means they cannot cut or thrust. Yet there is a simple yet effective way to attack with it. It's to hit with the edge. The edge refers to the narrowest surface of the object, or the surface that has the most materials behind it. Because when you hit with the edge is where the energy is the most concentrated, and then you can hit with a greater force. Now when it comes to parrying and defending yourself, I would also recommend you to use the edge to do so. Despite that the edge has a smaller surface area, but it has got more materials behind it, which means you can hit with more energy, and you can also keep your opponent or your opponent's weapon further away from you. Now one thing that you should not do is to hit with the broad surface area of it, because when you do so, yes, you are more likely to hit the target since it has a bigger surface area, but that would make you hit with a lot less force due to the fact that the energy is spread out in a larger area rather than concentrated in a small area. Also, when you are swinging the object from like this action, from the broad sides facing forward, then the object is going to travel slower in the air, because more air is going to be in front of it, causing it to be slower. Now for a little bit of bonus fact, wooden paddle or board-like weapons were used by many human cultures historically, but it was forgotten by the time metallic weapons were introduced. Historical evidences tells us that traditional wooden paddle-like weapons were used by cultures all around the South Pacific before metallic weapons were introduced there. In fact, the native population of Australia, New Zealand, New Guinea, Polynesia, and Hawaii all used certain types of wooden or stone melee weapons that were designed inspired by the paddle. They came in many different shapes and sizes. Some were large and they were meant to be used two-handed, but some were small and they were meant to be used one-handed, where they were used for both lethal and non-lethal purposes. These weapons started to fall out of mainstream use during the 17th and 18th century. That is where Europeans started to colonize the South Pacific and trade with the native people. It's where metallic swords and guns were introduced there, and they drastically changed the way how people fight, leading to a more modern style of combat and self-defense. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy our videos, then please feel free to like and share it.